So today I want to give you an updated review on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE Plus. So this tablet has been out around 5 months now, almost 6 months. And honestly, this tablet has blown me away in a lot of ways and disappointed me in a few. So without further ado, let's check out the Galaxy Tab S9 FE Plus. So over my time using the Tab S9 FE Plus, one of the things that has really changed and shifted has really been the price, and I know that was one of the complaints with the Tab S9 FE Plus. It did release at a $600 price point, and a lot of you said, what is the point in that when I could just get the Tab S9 FE? And I do understand that there's not a big difference outside of the screen size, and some of you would prefer the smaller screen size anyway. But over time, what we're seeing is the S9 FE Plus has gone on some really good sales, and there have been some really great deals out there. So right now we are seeing a really nice sale on the S9 FE Plus. At least as of the day I'm recording this video, it's $100 off, and they are offering a really nice open box discount as well. I was actually able to pick up another one of these tablets for like $375 in excellent condition from Best Buy. So that is a really, really good deal when you think about it. So whether you're looking at the open box market or looking for a new device, this tablet is a lot more competitive than it was when it first released. I also don't think people understood this tablet when it released. You're paying for screen size. If you don't want the screen size, you buy the smaller tablet. I do get that. But if you compare this to the Google Pixel tablet, if you compare it to something like the OnePlus Pad, you are going to get more size here. And just like the Tab S9 Plus and the S9 Ultra, the S9 Ultra costs more because it's larger. There's not a lot of extra features that you're getting. It's the same thing here. For a lot of you out there, if you are looking for a larger tablet, maybe a nice update from the Tab S7 FE, this is going to be a really, really good option for you. Now, one of the things that people were scared about when this tablet launched, it was the speed of it, because this does have an Exynos processor. It's an Exynos 1380 processor. It's the same processor that you're going to find in something like the Galaxy A54. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with how this tablet has performed over the last few months. It has 8 GB of RAM in the base model, at least in the US. And recently I actually purchased another Galaxy A54 and I was testing it out, even to use it with this tablet. And the processor is actually surprisingly speedy. In fact, whenever I compare this to my Tab S9 Plus, it wasn't really that huge of a jump in performance. I think for my day-to-day stuff, whenever I am scrolling around social media, opening up multiple apps at the same time, bouncing around between apps, I've had a really good experience with the Tab S9 FE Plus, and I didn't really experience many hiccups at all. Of course, if you are pushing your device to the limit, gaming on very, very high settings, then of course, you are going to notice a difference between the Tab S9 Plus and this S9 FE Plus. But I think a lot of people are not going to notice a significant difference. Of course, the display is a little bit nicer on the Tab S9 Plus. It does have an AMOLED display. This does have that IPS LCD display. I get there is a little bit of a difference there. And as far as performance, sure, this does have that Exynos and you get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. But day to day, most of those differences were not super noticeable. Yes, whenever I put the devices side by side, I did notice the display was a little bit more clear on the Tab S9 Plus. Of course, the colors, the blacks were a little more black on the display. I get there are some differences there, and AMOLED is really, really nice. But there are a lot of people out there who are watching this video who just want a decent looking display. And this is going to look better than decent. I would say it's going to look very good, and you're going to have a good viewing experience if you are watching media. I just have to say, I was really worried about the performance. I was really worried about this device, but it has been extremely solid. Not only that, but it does have a fingerprint sensor on the power button, and that is very preferable for a lot of people. I actually prefer it over an in-screen fingerprint reader. I do find it's a little more accurate, so that has actually made me love this device quite a bit. Now, the speakers aren't quite as loud if you compare them with the Tab S9 Plus. I get that. It's about half the volume, but the Tab S9 Plus, it is amazing at half the volume. So these speakers, even though they're not quite as good, they are still plenty loud enough. I was also able to do some 4K video editing on this, and that did surprise me, but I did try it with Luma Fusion. I did have 8 GB of RAM, remember, in this device, and I actually didn't have enough storage even to edit 4K video because my videos were too big, so I did use an external SSD, and to my surprise, I was able to edit a full YouTube video with this device. Now, it was starting to lag and hiccup about 3/4 of the way through, so I do get that. If you do have multiple 4K video files and you're stacking them on top of one another, you might have some issues with video editing. I would really recommend this for video editing if you're trying to edit something like 1080p video. But I tried the same thing on the Tab S9 Plus and I also had some minor issues. So that really goes to show you that this device does keep up with quite a bit of stuff. Now the S Pen does not have Bluetooth, so that is another thing. And one other issue that might really annoy some people is the fact that this cannot connect to a monitor with USB-C. Some people really want this to work with USB-C hubs and they want to use Samsung Dex on a computer monitor, and that is not something that you could do here. But if you're comparing this with other tablets at this price point, things like the Google Pixel tablet, tablets like the OnePlus Pad, I get there are some specs that this doesn't have. The refresh rate won't be quite as good on this as the OnePlus Pad. The OnePlus Pad will be a little bit smoother and a little bit faster. But I really trust Samsung to provide better software support. Samsung also has Samsung Dex. This also does have the newer version of Dex that they added, and I know some people won't like that. It's really just a mixture of the normal tablet UI with Samsung Dex. It does just pop up with little windows inside the tablet UI, so it is going to be a little bit different and not everyone's going to like it, but you are getting that with this tablet. So to get various versions of Dex, I just think that is really nice when you're comparing it to something like the OnePlus Pad, or if you're comparing it with the Google Pixel tablet. The software support you get, and getting the S Pen in the box. That is extremely significant if you really need an S Pen. And when you factor in all the sales that have come on with this tablet, when you factor in the screen size here, it's a 12.4-inch screen. It's larger than the Pixel tablet and the OnePlus Pad. When you factor all those things in, I really think that makes this tablet a good value, and especially if you find an open box deal. There are so many great deals that you could find on this device that I think it really stands out in this market. And honestly, if I'm choosing a tablet, it would really be neck and neck between this and the OnePlus Pad. And honestly, I would probably lean towards Samsung. I think all the software features are very, very important. Having the S Pen in the box is a really big deal. And overall, this tablet has just been very, very reliable. I get it. If you compare it with some Chinese models out there, it might not be quite as good of a value in other countries. I hear that all the time in my comments. But overall, this tablet is still worth buying, even in 2024. Sure, I wish this had an AMOLED display. I wish the refresh rate was a little bit better. I wish it was 120 Hertz. That would be really, really nice. And I'm sure some of you might wish it had a Snapdragon processor. For me, I think this processor is great for this tablet. So overall, if you're out there, if you're wanting a large display, I think this is going to be a bargain. And a lot of you out there considering a larger Galaxy tablet like the Tab S9 Plus, S9 Ultra, if you're on a budget, just get the S9 FE Plus. I really think you will enjoy it. And I do think it will last over time. Now, if you really like this, but you don't mind a smaller form factor, just get the Tab S9 FE. It's going to be the same type of deal, but it's going to be smaller, and that's going to save you some money. Hopefully this updated video or updated review, hopefully it did help you. Please give me a like on this video and give me a sub to my channel. Another way to help me, use those links in the description whenever you are purchasing. That is a huge way to help out a smaller channel like me, so please check out those links in the description. Also, feel free to check out some other videos. I'm making a lot of videos on Galaxy tablets, so I really hope you enjoy them. I hope you have a great day, and I really, really hope you have a tremendous week.